Welcome to Daily Harmony.
Great to be here.
Today, we're diving deep into a really fundamental idea, something that I think touches every part of our experience.
Yeah, it really does.
It's the choice between joy and pain. Specifically, we're looking at Lesson 210 from A Course in Miracles.
Which, of course, is reviewing Lesson 190. I choose the joy of God instead of pain. A powerful one.
Absolutely. And for you listening, maybe someone who wants to grasp these ideas, efficiently but also deeply.
I can get those aha moments without feeling bogged down.
Exactly. This deep dive is really designed for that. We'll unpack this core choice, why it matters so much, and importantly, how it can actually shift things in your daily life.
Right. Our aim today is to really get under the skin of this idea that you're not just a passive recipient of suffering.
That you have this inherent power, this ability to choose your response, even when things are tough.
Exactly. And we've got some great resources to look at excerpts like Choosing Joy Over Pain, another piece on Lesson 190 itself, and of course the text of Lesson 210.
So yeah, let's explore this together.
Okay, so where do we start? I think the central theme, right? The power of choice.
Yes. Lesson 190 really hammers this home. That fundamental message. We actively choose.
We are constantly choosing, often without even realizing it, how we react to life's, challenges. And that includes choosing joy or choosing pain.
It's quite a radical idea when you first bump into it, isn't it?
It really is.
The idea that pain, it's not just inevitable. It's not just something that happens to us.
That our experience of it is actually a choice we're making. It definitely pushes against that feeling of being, a victim of circumstance.
It absolutely does.
And the Course digs into why. It suggests pain isn't like fundamental reality. It actually comes from what it calls misperceptions.
Misperceptions about ourselves, about the world.
Both, yeah. And this feeling of being separate, disconnected from, the Course calls it a divine source, or God, or a spirit.
Okay. Enjoy them.
Joy is the flip side. It's seen as our natural state. It's a reflection of being connected, of seeing things truly.
So choosing joy isn't about ignoring the bad stuff or pretending.
No, not at all. It's more about recognizing that connection underneath everything.
Yeah.
And correcting those faulty beliefs, the misperceptions that lead to the pain in the first place.
It makes you really think about where suffering actually comes from. What are those misperceptions typically?
Well, a big one is often tied to our sense of worth, right? Like believing our value depends on external things.
Achievements, what others think of us.
Exactly. Praise, possessions, status. And when that external validation isn't there or feels threatened,
Boom.
feelings of inadequacy, fear.
Pain.
Right. But the Course argues our true worth is inherent. It's unchanging because it's rooted in that connection, that source. It doesn't depend on anything outside.
It's a huge shift in perspective. Okay, so understanding why is one thing, but how do we actually do this, on a really bad day?
Yeah, the practical side. It's crucial.
When everything feels like it's falling apart, saying choose joy can feel, almost insulting sometimes.
I get that. And it's not about suddenly forcing yourself to feel ecstatic when you're miserable. That's not it. It's about choosing a different response internally.
A different response? Like what?
Instead of that knee-jerk reaction, frustration, anger, despair, the sources suggest intentionally choosing something else. Maybe calmness, maybe understanding, even compassion.
Okay. So in an argument, for instance.
Yeah, good example. Instead of digging your heels in, needing to be right, feeling attacked, maybe you consciously choose to try and see the other person's viewpoint, even if you don't agree.
Just trying to understand where they're coming from.
Exactly. That shift, that simple choice away from defensiveness and towards empathy, it can actually diffuse the whole situation internally. It creates space, a kind of peace.
Which is a form of joy, right? A quieter form, maybe.
Precisely. It's about that first mental step you take.
And it sounds like mindfulness could be really helpful here, being present.
Absolutely key. Mindfulness gives you that vital pause, that space between the trigger and your reaction.
So you can actually notice the thought or feeling arising.
You can observe it, yeah. Without immediately getting swept away by it, without identifying with it completely.
And then you can remember the choice.
Right. When that familiar twinge of pain or anger pops up, mindfulness lets you gently say, there it is. Okay, I have a choice here. I can choose differently.
Maybe choose gratitude, even for something small. Or just choose not to fuel the negative thought.
Exactly. It's about reframing, shifting perspective. Instead of seeing a problem as just awful.
Maybe seeing it as a chance to learn something. Or practice patience.
Or practice choosing joy. Yeah, it's all practice.
Now, you mentioned some specific exercises earlier, ways to kind of build this muscle.
Yes, there are a couple of really practical ones suggested. First is daily reflection.
Okay, how does that work?
You basically start your day, maybe in the morning, and you think about a situation that might come up, something that usually triggers stress or pain for you.
Like a difficult meeting or dealing with a specific person.
It'd be anything. Yeah. And you consciously, proactively choose how you want to approach it.
Hmm.
You set an intention for joy or peace or understanding in relation to that specific thing.
Ah, okay, so you're setting your inner compass beforehand.
Exactly. Then during the day, you can kind of check in. How's that intention holding up? Is it changing how you experience that situation?
I can see how that would make a difference, just having that intention set. What's the
Okay.
other one?
The other is a joy inventory. This one's usually suggested for the end of the day.
So looking back.
Yeah. You take a few minutes to reflect and just list the moments where you felt joy or contentment, peace, anything positive. Big or small, doesn't matter.
Like enjoying a cup of coffee or a good conversation.
Absolutely, anything. And then you reflect. What choices did I make, even tiny ones, that contributed to that feeling?
Ah, so you start noticing the patterns, what actually leads to joy for you.
Precisely. It helps you become more aware of what nourishes your joy and empowers you to, well, choose more of that going forward.
So one is proactive setting of intention. The other is reflective learning.
That's a good way to put it.
And it really reinforces that core idea, doesn't it? That joy isn't just random luck.
Not at all. It's something we can actively cultivate.
Yeah.
It brings us back to that fundamental point.
Yeah.
Joy is presented as our inherent state, our default almost.
And pain is the mistake, the deviation.
It's seen as stemming from those misinterpretations, those illusions of separation. Pain comes from buying into a false idea of who we are and what reality is.
So choosing joy is like coming home, returning to what's naturally true for us.
That's exactly the sense of it. It's aligning with your own inherent worth, your connection, your truth. It's not about chasing something outside yourself. It's about uncovering what's already within.
So let's bring this together for you, our listener. What does this deep dive really mean for you?
Well, looking at Lesson 210, reviewing 190, it really highlights that this choice between joy and pain, it's not about ignoring difficulties. It's not spiritual bypassing.
Right. It's about how you choose to perceive and respond to whatever life throws your way.
Pain, as we've explored, isn't presented as some external source attacking you. It's framed as a decision rooted in misperception.
And joy, on the other hand, is your natural inheritance, your birthright.
Yeah.
It reflects that connection, that inner value.
And we've touched on some practical ways to work with this, the daily reflection, setting intentions.
And the joy inventory, looking back and learning, these aren't just, nice ideas.
They're tools you can literally pick up and use right now, today, to start shifting your inner experience.
And here's maybe a final thought, something really powerful to sit with.
Mhm.
If pain genuinely comes from misperception, as the Course suggests, what would actually happen in your life if you consistently, consciously chose to see things differently?
Might open up.
Yeah. What new possibilities for real, lasting peace and well-being might emerge for you?
It's a profound question because this principle, choosing joy over pain, it's fundamentally an invitation, isn't it?
An invitation. How so?
It's inviting you to step out of that feeling of being a victim, of being pushed around by life.
And step into a place of conscious creation, shaping your inner world intentionally.
Exactly. We really hope this deep dive has sparked some valuable insights for you and maybe encourages you to explore this powerful choice more deeply in your own journey.